The recently proposed voter ID law has been in the news a lot lately. What is it, and why is it significant? The voter ID law as it stands today would require any person attempting to vote to provide as proof of identification a government or state-issued photo ID. These IDs could be in any form but must include a photograph of the person attempting to vote and must be issued by the government. This includes passports, driver's licenses, liquor IDs, or any other photo ID. Under this law, social security cards, work permits, welfare checks, non-government issued IDs, or any ID not featuring a photograph would not be a valid proof of identification.
This law was supposedly made for one reason, as explained by Texas Governor Rick Perry.
I don't understand why. If we really believe in the Constitution and we believe in the rights and the privileges in this country, that when you walk into a voting booth, that you can't simply whip that out and say, I am James R. Perry, 1010 Colorado, Austin, Texas. Here I am. I don't understand that.
Maybe Rick Perry doesn't understand that not everyone has valid access to a government-issued ID.
Dorothy Cooper is a 96-year-old resident of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and has been voting for the last 75 years. This year, she's been told she can't. A new law in Tennessee requires residents to show a government-issued photo ID in order to vote. Dorothy Cooper doesn't have a driver's license because Dorothy Cooper doesn't have a car. Dorothy Cooper doesn't have a passport. A vacation abroad was never in her future. Tennessee isn't alone. At this moment, 33 states have proposed or already adopted the same voter ID laws that have disqualified Dorothy Cooper from the one fundamental thing that we all do as Americans.
Dorothy Cooper is not alone. Estimations from various news sources confirm that 11% of the country, or about 20 million Americans, do not have any single form of government-issued identification. So, why would you take away a great percentage of Americans' right to vote? To eliminate voter fraud, of course. In a 5-year span during the presidency of George W. Bush, over 196 million votes were counted. In those 196 million votes, there are exactly 86 cases of fraud. Yes, 86. That counts as 4/100,000ths of the votes. So, why create a solution for a problem that doesn't even exist?
Republicans have a hard time getting certain people to vote for them, so life would be a lot easier if certain people just weren't allowed to vote at all. I'm ashamed to say that 32 of the 33 voter ID laws were proposed by Republican legislators and passed by Republican-controlled state houses and signed into law by Republican governors.
In addition, the demographic groups least likely to have access to government IDs are young people, elderly people, and recent immigrants. All of these demographics, with the exception of the elderly, most likely will vote Democratic in the coming election.
Don't believe us? Let's ask Pennsylvania House Republican leader Mike Turzai about the voter ID law in his home state.
Voter ID, which is going to allow Governor Romney to win the state of Pennsylvania. Done.
So, is the voter ID law a Republican conspiracy designed to allow the Republicans to reclaim the White House? Yes. Yes, it is. Voter ID is unjust and abridges the right of many Americans to vote. But a bigger question, is it even constitutional? No, it isn't. According to the 14th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. One of the most important privileges of citizens of the United States is the ability to elect their leaders. Never since the days of women's and black suffrage has such an abridgment of the rights of American citizens been proposed.
So, how do we save the world from voter ID laws? Multiple state court systems already have. Multiple states, including Texas and Pennsylvania, have already decided that these laws are unjust, all thanks to the effort of the United States citizens who found these laws to be unfair. However, there are some states that still have these laws in place. What can we do about it? One easy way is to use the internet. Go online and blog about this unfair law. Encourage people in the afflicted states to rise up and do something about it. This country was built on the promise of freedom. It's now being taken away from us in voter IDs laws. This unjust law needs to go.